I forgot to tell you. You guys are going to hear me say JT here, Teal's Garage, twice. That's because I forgot about the grid. So anyway, enjoy. Alright, YouTube, because I'm an idiot, JT here, Teal's Garage. I forgot to show you in the last bit what I meant by putting like a grid. So I can't show you on the piece of metal. I'll just have to use a different piece of metal. But I'll show you. My workbench is disastrous. So let me make a little room quick to try to show you. But I do got to take a moment this weekend, get things organized. But anyway, I'm gonna flip you guys around and talk. Alright, so this was our template, if you guys remember. See? That was the template that we used. Okay? So what I was talking about is you could have used, if you have a longer straight edge, you could make, go every 2 inches, or depending on what your curve or what you're trying to do. More so, this idea I'm giving you is for like a curved panel, not so much like straight with hard bends. More so if you're just trying to get a curve, a radius, without like an English wheel or anything like that. But you go like that, and then you would draw a line. Then you can move up a little bit further. You draw a line. You move up a little bit further, draw a line. A little bit more, draw a line. And then that kind of gives you like a grid effect. I mean, it doesn't have the up down, but you got your cross this way to this way, this way to this way. You make lines, okay? Then what you would do, so we'll just take this scrap piece of metal, right? So say, you got a line drawn underneath that straight edge, and another one, another one, another one, so on and so forth. Then what you do, and make sure, depending on how your brake works, you may have to flip your panel over and draw your lines on it, depending on how your brake works. My homemade brake goes up. So if we put this in here, put it on a line, and we wanted this to be the face of our panel, that's not going to work. So on this, for me, I would have had to make all my lines on the back side, and then you just put it in there and give it a little bend. Then you go to the next line, give it another little bend. Then you go to the next line, give it another little bend. And then once you kind of get them, you can put it over your leg. And that's what I just did right from the rip, because I didn't realize, well, it's been a while. Forgot how easy 18 gauge sheet metal bends. So I just took it and bent it right over my leg, and the skinny part of my leg and the fatter part of my leg, put the right kind of curve into that panel. As you'll see, once it's all tacked on in this segment, or this second part 2 video, you'll see. But I wanted to touch base on what I meant by putting like a little grid. And just one last time, I just seen a Sharpie, or I would have done this from the get-go. But like I said, you just, you think you need 2.5 inches? That's ballpark 2.5 inches. And then, yeah, how am I going to do this? And then we would just, run a line. But obviously a lot straighter. Then we go up another 2.5 inches and run a line. And then we go up another, and you run a line. And then, like I said, you put it in your brake, not aggressively, and you don't even really have to tighten, especially if you got a nice brake that has them little lock handles on the side that you put the pressure. You just put a little pressure on both sides. This one is, obviously, this is how you put the pressure onto it. But if you have an actual metal brake, you just a little bit of pressure so the panel wouldn't say is loose but snug, so you could just, you know, little bit on each one of these lines. So hope you like that, and I hope you like this video you're about to see. I'm stuttering, can't talk, but I hope you enjoy, and yeah, leave a comment. We'll see you at the end of this video, and we'll talk with you then. All right. Hey YouTube, JT here, Teal's Garage. Got my my boy, Old Blue. I've been driving a little bit, but part 2 of the metal work. Hope you enjoy it. I forgot one thing in that last little bit, but I wasn't joking. Little wooden ruler, and this is what I wanted to also show, but I got ahead of myself. So it's looking like down to where they cut it, my lowest point, it's about a 1/2 inch. And like I said, I want to cut this, but I don't want to cut this yet on this line. I want to leave a little bit of material. So I think I'm going to make a bunch of little marks using my straight edge here to the edge of my line. I'm going to just make a bunch of 1/2 inch marks. Just up here. Up here is going to get a little goofy because I don't know what's exactly behind that patch. And that looks like a 1/4 inch. So up in here, I may only go 1/4 inch, or maybe I'll, once it drops down, I'll start out 1/4, then drop it down to 1/2. Just, like I said, just trying to leave material. And all I'm going to do is this. I'm going to take this, butt it up. That looks like a 1/2. Put a line. I'll take this, butt it up, 1/2 inch, make a line. And then I'm going to do the same thing, over and over. And I'm left-handed, so doing this like that is a little difficult. And then I'll show you what we'll do after that. We're just going to take our straight edge and butt these up. And make a line. Butt these up. Make a line. It's a little off, so we'll fix it. We'll just fatten the line up a little bit. Oh, gotta get it down just a hair more. But you get the gist. It's all on how crazy, and I hate the word perfect, but just trying to get a little scribe line on. And I'm actually going to carry this right on out to the edge. There'll be a little overlap with my ruler, but that's okay. Sometimes lines intersect, and then I think we'll go something like that. I'm just going to eye this. So, like I said, this little triangle will stay, this gap will stay, and then we'll just do it again. We'll come down, butt it up, make a 1/2 inch mark, and I'll just keep working my way down. And the cheater trick with a straight edge on a curve, when you're tracing it, roll it so you can stay consistent with your line. So you're gonna come down and start rolling your ruler or your straight edge, whatever you're using, so you can keep your line fairly semi-organized and straight. I'll bring you in so you can see that a little bit better, but as you can see, I rolled it pretty parallel. I mean, it's not perfect, but I'm looking for a little bit of leeway to stay. So in case I mess up with my patch, if I need to suck it up right here to make the difference up with my patch panel, I have something there. Some people do this when they overlay, but I'm not overlaying my panels. I'm gonna butt them. I'm gonna butt and tack, and that is what it is. But I just wanted to show you guys that. I forgot about doing that in the last little bit, but I'm gonna finish making my line right here and get the battery charged up, and maybe tomorrow's a new night, or I may get a little froggy and start cutting this out right now. But whatever happens in the meantime, I'll pick up with you when I have a little bit more progress done. Alright folks, I cut it out. Hopefully my battery hangs in there, but you can just see that trunk drop off is just junk. And I'll show you quick what I used for ideas for doing your own. But like I said, we got now perfect patch template. You know, I cut my piece from my piece of paper, and then I kind of got this to help form it. So like I said, we'll have to do something here for the concave, which I may be able to tack it in and then just kind of hammer dolly it down just to help try to form it. Or maybe I'll just make a fair low spot, and then when I put filler in it, then I can just kind of sculpt it, I guess. Sounds kind of cobby, but I mean, what else you gonna do? I mean, it's kind of tough with all the curves this has to make them perfect when I don't have all the stuff to be able to make stuff like that. So and all I did was I took my cutoff wheel, did my lines, and then I took my air chisel, just a cheapy Harbor Freight, which I'm actually first time using it. I just bought it not too recently, and it's probably the best cheap air hammer I've ever used. But I just followed the bottom of this where the pinch welds were and just knocked each one and separated the two panels. And then what I'm gonna have to do here is I think I'm gonna have, well, obviously I gotta cut this off, but see, it's a little rotted there, it's a little short, so I'm gonna have to definitely put a piece, just a flat piece in there. And then I think back here it's a little rotten, so I'm gonna grab a screwdriver and I'm gonna start chipping this all out and go from there. But at the moment my battery is screaming. I'm trying to make the best of the night, so I'm gonna just keep kind of working ahead, and hopefully I don't do too much without filming. But I'll try to pick back up with you guys, or maybe I'll just call it tonight. I don't know, but having the quarter cut out kind of makes me want to keep going. But if I don't have a good charged battery, it's kind of pointless to keep going if I can't film it. I just hate to leave little bits out if it may be important to somebody or curious on how to, or not that I'm trying to do a how to. I shouldn't have used that word. But just see the way you may be taking on the process, you know what I mean? So I guess that's why I talk too much, because I just try to be as clear as I guess I can try to make it. I don't know. I like to ramble. I like to BS with the boys, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm gonna look at this more. I'm gonna get a screwdriver and tried chipping some of that out. I may have to heat it, and it looks like the trunk pan extension gets tied in right here. I actually lucked out and I cut it just past where this joins, so that'll be real nice to burn that in. And I didn't cut into the bottom of this, I just barely grazed it so I didn't nick it. So when we put the new patch in, that's gonna lay right nice and tight. There won't be no cut mark on the other side because I didn't go through. That's another thing, it's just, you know, just rest it on there and just get through the first layer. Don't chop right into it like the prior people did with this. So now we got something to work with. There's not a bunch of chaos going on. So I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna probably get the batteries charged up, and I may just work a little bit more tonight and just update you guys tomorrow, and we'll go from there. But I'll see you in the next little segment, I guess you could say, and hopefully I got something done or something important to tell you. I don't know, but I just wanted to give you that update. What's going on, people of the YouTube? Been working. I got the old trunk pan extension out, trimmed up. This kind of fits. It was made in Taiwan. It needs some love, but that's all cut out. Kind of been mocked, but I wanted to show you what I did for making a template for my trunk pan. So something like that. I just quick put orange paint marker down to get an idea where I wanted to cut out more, but what I'll do over here is I'll write a little note on the paper to add, like, you know, 1/8 inch, just so there's a little bit more meat there to play with. And I measured all of the bead rolls from this and transferred them to that. The only thing I'm not going to be able to do, I don't think, is this is low. I might be able to try to put some bead rolls there, but this may not be low to where that one's low. It'll just have the bead roll marks in it, and I'll just butt it up flush, which is not a big deal. I'm going to put a factory trunk mat in this more than likely, or some type of carpet or whatever, just to doll it up back here. And it's a trunk. The trunk's closed. I mean, for the most part, you're not showing people unless you're getting something out. But I'll stop rambling, and that's what I'm gonna do right there. I talked with my buddy today after work, and he's going to he sold me a sheet of metal. He's the race car guy I've mentioned before, and he's gonna bead roll it for me, and we gotta just get it cut out. So let me turn the air compressor off real quick. But I'm hoping, so for reference, today's Friday, March 28th. After work, and sorry, I was reading a text message. So I'm hoping to tomorrow get this cut out, bead rolled, trimmed, welded in, because I hate to say it, that kind of needs this done so I have something to butt against. Actually, I need to write a note to add a 1/2 inch flange. That's what I need to add here. Glad I was kind of talking to you guys, but yeah, so I'll just write a note and we'll just add an edge. I may make it in 2 pieces, or maybe I can get away with the, you know, add X amount and just bend it in the brake once I get it home, just so it's got an edge to butt up to that edge, if you can see this one, because this goes up in the car like so, and then the trunk would be folded to meet there, and then I can plug weld it underneath together. And yeah, so, but trunk needs to be patched before I can finish putting that in. And then there's a little rust hole there. I don't know how crazy I'm gonna get with it. I might be able to get it from the other side. I'll just take the cut off wheel, cut right in there, right straight across, and we'll just put a little, 1.5 inch flat piece, just so that the front of that trunk pan extension has something to be clamped to and welded to. And then I can start doing the quarter, the outer part of the quarter. And yeah, I would like to this weekend, just so you guys got like I said, that's why I said the date, just so you have an idea of time. I'd like to try to get this done this weekend, and then maybe get even up further done. But I'm going to work on this passenger side all weekend. So I guess when I get more done, I'll come back to you, or if I think of something or need to show you something, I'll get to you. Oh, and that little rotted piece that was right there actually attaches right in here onto that piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my new piece in and then put my other piece in. So that kind of worked out good there. And we're going to end up doing another patch. I want to cut this out now, but I'm hesitant to. I want to get that one in and then mostly tacked in and tacked to the extension, and then I think I'm going to make another small piece to go right there. Kind of silly, should just do it all in one piece, but like I said before, with that kind of having a curve going inward and then it's curved this way, it's hard to bend all of that onto a piece of metal when I don't have the right tooling here at my house to do that type of stuff. And again, I'm no fabricator. I'm just putting some skills that I know in motion. That's all I'm doing. This is never going to be a perfect job, but it'll be more than sufficient, more than good enough, whatever you want to kind of say. But I'll get the tire off also tomorrow, get that out of my way. And I got looking too, but I'm going to peel some of this old seam sealer out. This is the old trunk pan extension. Pretty nice, huh? And there's a little piece of it down there. And also, before I let you guys go, I want to show you one thing, but let me finish telling you this. But I'm going to peel some of this old seam sealer out because I just want to check underneath it just to make sure it's good. Now, no hidden rot. And so far it's been pretty good, except for one little tiny pinhole right there, which I'm just going to seam seal back over, and whatever leaks out the other side, I'm just going to smear it on the other side, and it'll kind of encapsulate that. But before I even put seam sealer on it, I'm going to wire wheel these edges where I end up peeling it out of. I'll wire wheel it, I'm going to put some rust converter on all of it, and then I'm going to seam seal back over it. So that little tiny pinhole, honestly, is no different than, I mean, there is a big gap right there. I don't know if that rotted like that. No, because the tub is still there, but there is a big gap, and they just packed that right full of seam sealer. I dug that all out. So that little tiny pinhole, after it's treated, wire wheeled, then treated, and then re-seam sealed, it'll last a long time. Like I said, I'm not going for perfection with this car. I just want good enough to drive it and know that it ain't gonna fall apart as I'm going down the road. And that little tiny pinhole ain't got nothing to worry about. I mean, the holes in the frame that they put factory are bigger than that little pinhole. So that'll be good. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna like I mentioned, we're gonna make a little filler piece so we can clamp the pieces back together where they need to be, and then whatever, I'm gonna just lay some tacks in it, plug welds, whatever it needs to be joined back together, and then it's getting seam sealed and rust treated, and seam sealed. Don't mean to keep saying that backward, but I do. So but the big goal for me tonight was to get this knocked out, and I wanted to get my template. I'm actually gonna go, like I said, I'm gonna go get the metal. I think maybe tonight or first thing in the morning. But before I let you go, I'm gonna show you what I did. And this is just a cheapy Harbor Freight air chisel, air hammer, whatever you want to call it. And I literally just got down in there and I just hit it. I mean, I don't know why I ever spent so much time using spot weld driller, because that thing plucked right through them spot welds like it was nothing. And people may say, oh, it messed some stuff up. It only messed up what I wanted gone. It really, if you look in there, I know I don't have good lighting, but I mean, it didn't hurt anything I didn't want it to really hurt. So if you guys are dreading drilling a bunch of spot welds, just get you a cheap air chisel. Make sure the edge is really sharp. That's a brand new chisel on there. And you know, if you want bad results, be an idiot with it. If you use your brain with the trigger and the airspeed and just take it easy and be thoughtful where you're going to aim, and when you pull that trigger, it'll be just fine. I didn't have one bit of problem, so I'll be honest with you. From here on out, unless I can't get that in there, I'll never drill another spot weld ever again. I'll just keep chiseling. I'll move my patch. I started doing it on this trunk floor, and I just hit this right here and it peeled it right up like it was nothing. And I mean, you can see it didn't hurt nothing. I did all of that edge. I don't know if you can see that, but it just, you know. And then the only thing you got left is that little tiny bit. There's that little tiny bit. That little tiny bit. See? Right there where my fingernail is. That's a little tack weld. I'll get in there, clean them off. I mean, look at how straight that is. And I air chiseled that piece off. There was a piece from the other part that was right there of the extension, and I just air hammered each one. I got kind of in between the two just to raise it, just to see what I had going on. Let me get you in frame. I just went in between here, just burped it, and then I seen it was stuck here and here, and I just bink, bink. And yeah, so don't waste your time with useless dulling drills and drill bits. I mean, obviously, when you can't get into a spot, you got no other options or whatever, but I seen guys use chisel. I've heard guys say that the chisel just beats up the part you're trying to save, but I don't know. Proof's kind of in the pudding for me. I didn't go crazy, and I just gently burped it with the trigger on the chisel, and I didn't hurt anything I didn't want to trying not to swear that I didn't want to mess up. Nothing got messed up that I was trying to save, in other words. So yeah, so I'm very pleased with that little trick. So if it will help you out, that's what I was trying to get at. And I just showing this for an idea. Like I said, I put stuff on paper before I put it on metal. Some people just jump that step. I mean, this took me, I don't know, 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes of messing around with this is better than 20 minutes lost and material burned up from not making good choices. Honestly, without laying this in there a bunch of times, I would have forgot about having to bend the edge here, and I would have been adding a piece and having to tack weld this edge. Now I'll just write my little note and say add, you know, I'll measure that piece and I'll just say add X amount and break it on the edge. So, well, that'll be it for that. And when I got more done and more accomplished, hopefully it won't look like this when I pick back up with you guys. Hopefully there'll be some stuff welded in or whatever, or getting ready to weld in. And I try not to make things boring for you people. And I try not to ramble on. And I'm not trying to be a know-it-all with anything either. I just trying to share my experience more than anything. Whether it be good or bad. You take it how you want to. And I just know, hopefully in a few months, I'll be driving this old girl. It just needs a little bit of help along the way before it can get down the road. So bear with me and we'll get through this project, and I'll try to figure out how not to ramble on, I guess. But if I feel like it's good usable knowledge, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm a talker. So we'll catch you on the next little segment, and hopefully we got some work done. But I'll see you then. What's up, YouTube? I'm back. I got some steel, and we're gonna apply my trunk template to the steel. So let me show you what I got. I went and bought from my race car buddy I told you about. I cut it in half, but it's a 4x8 sheet, and got a good deal on it. It's a little beat up. It's got some spots where there is some rust on it, but it'll clean up. It'll be fine. But we're just gonna simply trace our pattern. I'm gonna mark this all out, and then the same guy, I'm gonna drop this off, and he's gonna bead roll everything for me, and then we'll get it installed in the car. So I'm gonna get this marked out, show you what I did. I'll get it cut out, and then we'll go from there with the rest of it when it's time to get it welded in. But this is where I'm at right now, and I'll catch up with you when it's all cut out. Alright, I'm back, and I have the floor pan patch roughed in. I mean, it's not welded or nothing, but it's looking good. I'll show you what it looks like. So there's the piece, and the yellow lines are everywhere that needs a bead roll, except for this middle one. But I marked out both sides of one, so that'll be a bead roll, a bead roll. This will be a bead roll. That's a bead roll. That's a bead roll, and those two are bead rolls, and that little guy's a bead roll. Roughly matches that side. Like I said, right here should be indentated, but I'm not going to be able to do that. But it'll look good. But I got to clean up this little curve because it's into the trunk support, or you know, the tail pan to floor support. So I just got to open that up just a little bit more. I'm going to take a Sharpie and just mark that, and then I'll take my grinder with a flap disc and just burn it back or grind it back. Yeah, so that's what that piece is going to look like. And my buddy that sold me the steel, he said he'll bead roll it for me. Said it might be a couple days, but I got to take the gas tank and stuff out of this thing before I can start welding and cutting to fit this patch. So that'll be alright. I got a couple days to get more ready to actually tackle this. I know some people, they'll knock stuff out like that in a day or so. Sorry, chewing on grit. I know, should wear my mask that's hanging right there. This guy. I should wear that thing, but I was just trying to do this quick and just kind of get it fitted, because when I go to drop this off to him tomorrow, I wanted it pretty much, once it gets bead rolled, it'll be ready to go. The only other thing I do gotta ask him is I hope it doesn't shrink too much with him putting bead rolls in it, because I didn't add for that. So I really hope that doesn't mess things up too much. But I mean, if it shrinks up 1/4 inch, it won't be the end of the world. But I'm hoping that it doesn't shrink too awfully much. Because I should have thought about that and asked him about that when I was there. I've heard that it could shrink it just a little bit, because you know you're pulling material down when you do the bead roller. So if it only does a little bit, and it only adds up to 1/8 to 1/4 inch, that isn't going to affect it too much, because I got plenty over here where I was going to have it lay. So if it pulls this edge over a little bit, it'll be fine. But I need this side to kind of stay. So worst case, I'll talk to him about it. If we don't have to put these bead rolls in, it's not the end of the world. But that side does have 2 little ones. These aren't in the exact right spot, but you know, it's just a trunk. So I just wanted to show you guys what I came up with and why I used the paper, because you can see how much it laid right out nice from using the paper onto the steel. Some people just freehand it, and I'm not that good to do that. So the paper is a little bit of insurance to make sure you get pretty close or nail it right on the head. So I'm gonna start working on making this patch for the quarter panel. I'm gonna lay my steel back up, and I'm gonna actually take that and I'm gonna start on one edge and just roll it to the next edge, and then I'll trace it and get it cut out. And I'll pick back up with you guys when I have that patch done. So we'll see you then. Alright guys and gals, I'm back, and I made the lower quarter patch. Let me get you set up and I'll show you what I did. This should be pretty good. So I took my paper template and I traced it out onto a new piece of steel, and then I just gently curved it over my leg. Just took it and, you know, put a little bit of a curve in it, kind of followed the old piece. And it's not perfect right now, but because I need the trunk extension in and the floor pan patch in first. But I mean, line that up roughly, and it touches pretty nice back here, and this will all push in nice right there, and you can kind of see we got a lower quarter patch. So I just have to do something here in the lip, and I ain't really decided what I'm gonna do. I may just, since this is kind of cut off at the same point, just make it square. It won't be right, but it'll look good enough, kind of factory-ish. I don't know, maybe I can get it to point down and just be a smooth edge here, and then with the filler we can kind of fake it a little bit, and I don't know. So when I get that far, I'll figure it out. But I wanted to show you guys that I made the patch, the trunk piece I showed you, and then now I gotta make a little piece that goes from the back tie bar to tie the quarter panel back into the car. But when I'm done with that, I'll join back with you guys. And we're back, YouTube. I just got looking through my footage and from last night. And then this afternoon I just recorded something quick. My camera didn't. Said there was an error, so I'm gotta reshoot this here. So this is just gonna be a quickie, but there's the quarter patch. Self-tapped it on. I kind of dropped it a little bit lower than I wanted to. So there's a big gap, but I'll fill it in, no big deal. But I made this piece, and it's gonna go like this, something of that nature. And oh, I think I actually I was holding it the right way. And just once it's all pushed, I'll be able to hammer dolly if I have to trim the corner, whatever it's gonna take. But that'll start bringing the body line that's right here together. So that's that piece, and all I did was bent it, and then I bent it over my knee. That's all I did. It's not perfect, and I don't have a stretcher or a shrinker, so it's gonna work good enough. And like I've said before, a little bit of filler and paint will make me the fabricator. I ain't. So little haha there. So I'm gonna end you there, and hopefully it recorded this time. But yeah, we'll see you on the next one. What's up, ladies and gents of the YouTube land? I keep having a problem with my camera, so I'm gonna try to record this one more time. I'm glad I caught on to this before I thought I recorded a bunch of footage and didn't get nothing. But like I told you guys, well, told you in old footage that I was going to work on getting the gas tank out of this car, and we don't have that footage. So get on my creeper, show you a little tour under here. A little scaly. I mean, it's surface rust, but it ain't rotted. Pretty nice under here. And yeah, so I just figured I'd show you that quick. Got the tank out. New brake lines, like I talked about. They got a weird loop going on back there. I don't know if you can see it. It goes up around and into the rubber. I'll fix that, make it a straight shot. This thing's all kind of jank. It's not really rotted, but a couple of these ports are loose, so I'm just gonna peel that out of here. This fuel line's got a couple kinks in it, so I'm gonna peel that all out. And then, like I said before, other video, I think the introduction video of this car, but right there's an 8 3/4. It's got air shocks, like I said. I think I'm going to just put stock, or you know, a good stock style shock. Air shocks would be cool for more of that 70s hot rod thing, but or muscle car, sorry. But I think I'll just put normal shocks in the back. Maybe I'll go air shocks, I don't know. You'll have to wait and see. But I just want to doctor this up a little bit with hammer and dolly. The one hole in the frame, factory hole I'm talking, somebody hooked onto it, so I'm going to just use a ball peen hammer and knock that back in. And that's about it. So when I have more work done, I'll get back with you.